Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to make a video, more of a 5-step video of what to do when you have unwanted gifts. This is going to be by severity, so I'm going to start off with like the least severe, and then we'll go down to number 5, which would be like, you've talked to them and they're still getting you unwanted gifts. This can be for the holiday season, which is why I'm posting it now, but it's also good for birthdays too. And I am someone who, and I think everybody has this person in their life, where they just get you unwanted gifts. Like, so much. And then you feel so guilty because you're like, this person is spending their hard-earned money on me for something I don't even want, I don't even need, I won't use. I have to end up donating, and then I feel even more guilty. So this is for you. And I have a couple people in my life like this, but one in particular I have had to do all the way up to stage 5, and it was the only way to get through to them. So this is, if you have someone in your life like this, then this might be for you. So stage 1 is just gently, kindly, but firmly tell them no gifts this year. And you can tell them, like, just be honest, the reason. So I usually try to use the reason of I'm trying to declutter. Like, I'll say, hey, Christmas is coming and I just want to make sure we're on the same page. No gifts this year. And just be honest. I just tell them, like, I'm trying to declutter and I'm doing really good. I'm making really good progress, downsizing and decluttering, and I don't want to sabotage my progress. I don't want to undo all my hard work. All right? That's usually what I say. But you could use, expenses. You could say, environmental reasons, that you're just like really passionate, and you could even just use excuse, hey, I'm doing 6 months, no consuming, and I don't want to break that 6 month because I'm doing so good. So can we please not get any gifts, because then it'll undo my 6-month challenge or whatever. So just be honest with your reasoning. If finances are tight or you just don't want anything, like I got everything I need, I don't need anything, please don't get me something unwanted. And just be honest. Like, look, in the past, like, I felt really guilty having to like donate things, and I just don't want that negative guilt around the holidays. So can we just please no gifts? Stage 2 is if they push past that boundary, or they're going to end up getting something anyways. This is the second option. And this is experiences versus gifts. So me and my dad do this, where we'll go to a museum or something. But what really works good, especially with kids, that's what's hard. Telling grandparents not to get grandkids gifts is very challenging. So here is what you can do. You can say, I want you to get them an experience instead. And you can do gifts with that. So you can make an exception. As an example, swimming lessons. They don't need any toys this year. Please do not get them any toys. What I would rather you do is get them swimming lessons at the local gym or the local pool or whatever. And if you insist on getting them a gift, take them out to go get a new swimsuit and goggles or whatever. That's the win-win. The kid gets quality time with the grandparents. They get to go shopping. The grandparents feel like they get to buy something for the kid, and the kid doesn't get another toy to like stack up in the bedroom. They get an experience, swim lessons. And you can do this with other things too. You can do a museum and say, hey, no gifts this year, but he's really into dinosaurs, so if you want to take him to the dinosaur museum, and get one gift from the gift shop. So you can kind of put like, parameters on how far you're willing to go with that. But that's usually like with me and my dad and my husband, we like to go do experiences. So this year we went bowling, and then my dad bought us dinner afterwards. So he still felt like he got to buy us something, but we got what we really wanted, which was quality time. And you could totally do that with kids. You could say, we're going to go bowling, and your Christmas gift this year is $10 at the arcade or something like that at the bowling alley or whatever. They can order whatever food they want at the bowling alley. Like, you can do stuff like that so that they don't have an assumption of toys. And I know that's really hard, especially with grandparents, but that's my advice, is give a tip or an experience, and then put parameters on, You know, you can take them swimsuit shopping, or you can buy this, or like give them something. That way it's a compromise where they feel like they're getting something, but you're not getting like a bunch of unwanted toys. So that's my advice. And also you could do like dinner, like I said, or go to a concert, and they could buy you, like siblings go to a concert together, and then if they insist on getting you a gift, say, take me to the concert and buy me a tour shirt, or take me to the concert and pay for my ticket. Like, you could do something like that. And then if it's something where you can't, like, that won't work for whatever reason, my only, like, last experience option for you, if they still insist and they just, like, won't let up, and I've mentioned this before, it's called a friend swap meet. My apologies, I'm so nasally. But long story short, this is how it goes. If I'm hosting, right, and you can do this at work, you can do this at a church, you can do it at a community center, no matter whose house you do it at. But let's just say, for example, I'm hosting. I invite 20 people over to my friend swap meet. That means, or let's say, 20 people. They each bring X amount of items that they don't want anymore. It could be 10 items, 20 items, whatever. We all have our little piles of stuff we don't want anymore. You roll a dice. Whoever goes first gets to go around the circle and pick whatever they want. And then at the end of the swap meet, after everybody has gone, you open it up to everybody. Everybody can go get whatever they want. And then whatever's left gets donated. So everybody gets to declutter some things. And usually everybody leaves with something new, or new to them. So if they're doing like a Secret Santa at work and like you can't get out of it, which if you should just decline if you don't want to. Like you should put yourself first. But if you can't get out of it, like with siblings and stuff, do a sibling swap meet with your cousins and your siblings. Everybody brings 10 items they don't want anymore. It could be candles, it could be knickknacks, decor, picture frames, whatever. Put them in a pile, and everybody has their own pile, and then you roll a dice, and then you all take turns going around getting one item each, whatever. You can do it however you want. You can do, usually how we do it, like if I roll a 1 first, I get to go to each pile and pick one thing. Whoever gets 2, or you get to just do 1 pile, whatever. Do it however you want. Be creative, draw names out of a hat, roll a dice, have fun with it. So if that doesn't work, and they're like, nah, I don't want to do experiences, or maybe 2, because I have someone like this in my life, they're homebound. They can't go do anything, all right? They're completely like homebound, can't go out to eat, can't do anything, right? You can offer up a gift card if they're insisting on getting you something. And again, just explain to them in a loving, gentle way, but firm. No gifts this year. And if they insist on wanting to get you something, you say, what would really help this year, and you can kind of like, not guilt trip, you can kind of like say it like this: I really appreciate all the gifts you gotten me, but I have everything I need. What would I really need this year is a gas. Gas is so expensive. I could really use a gas card. Like, it's just, the gas prices are just so high, and I don't need any clothing. I don't need any knickknacks. What I really need is a gas gift card. If you really want to get me something and you're insisting, that would really help a lot. Or, kids, you can say, oh, they really want to get their hair done, or like, my sister really wants to get her nails done. Like, if you really want to get her something, get her a gift card for the nail salon or the hair salon or whatever. Or you could say, groceries have just been like killing us lately. Honestly, a Walmart gift card would be better than anything else you could buy us, because we would really appreciate the Walmart gift card. So, and another thing too is oil changes. You can go and buy a gift card for an oil change. So if that's something too that like you don't need anything else, or you're looking for a gift to give somebody, everybody needs oil changes. Even if it's somebody who can change their own oil, it would be a nice gift for them to have like a break from having to change their own oil. Okay, so let's say you've done all these things and they still get you something. Number 4 would be, you tell them thank you, you love them, and then you regift it. All right? You let go of that guilt. You have done your part. You have vocalized. You have set your boundaries, and they still got you something you asked them not to do. Say thank you, I love you, and just regift it. You let go of the guilt, because if they truly love you and they truly care about you, they would not want you to hold on to something that's causing you pain and guilt and just unpleasure, right? If they really care about you, they're going to want you to be happy. And if holding on to this unwanted item is causing you stress or guilt, then they would rather you just donate it, right? So let go of the guilt, just regift it. Number 5. And I actually have examples from this particular person in my family. This would be the absolute last resort, right? So I've done it all. I vocalize to him every year how I'm trying to declutter, and I don't want to sabotage that, and we're doing so good, and please don't get us anything. I've offered experiences. I've offered, please, like, just Walmart and gas gift card or a McDonald's gift card so DC can get coffee. Like, I've offered it all, okay? Everything. They still will buy me stuff that I never use. And I feel so guilty, and I absolutely hate it. So this is what I did. Last year, 2 years ago, she crochets, and she crocheted me and my husband a matching scarf and hat. We said, thank you, we love you, wear it all the time. And then a few months go by, she does it again. And I gently say, hey, I appreciate this, but we don't need any more scarves. She kept trying to push it, take it. I said, listen, the one you gave us before, we love. We wear them all the time. We don't need another one. She still would not take no for an answer. So I said, okay. Number 4. I said, thank you. I love you. And I regifted that shit, all right? There is like a drive-through food pantry where I live. It's food pantry, but it's like other things too, right? So people can put like clothing in it. You can put water. You can put whatever, right? And she gave me like 4 scarves, and I already had one. So I put them in there. Okay. So me and DC kept wearing the original one she got that we love, right? We wear it all the time. And this is number 5. She asked me, how come you don't wear the other scarf I made you? And I gently and lovingly but firmly said, do you remember when I said, please don't make me any more scarves and hats because I have one that you made me and I love it and it's special because you made it and I don't need any more? And she was like, yeah. I was like, and then you made me more? And she's like, yeah. I said, okay, but I didn't want those and I don't need those. Remember? And she was like, yeah. I said, so I donated them to someone who could use them. And she was like, oh, you just gave them away? And I was like, again, and this is where you don't argue, you just hold your ground. And you just repeat yourself if necessary. Like I said, again, I love the one you gave me originally. I wear it all the time. It's special to me because you made it and I love you. And that's why I don't need any other ones. I don't want any other ones. I don't need any other ones. So I gave it to somebody who could use it. And she was just kind of like, oh, okay. And then she stopped making them for us. She had made like 4 or 5 for us each. And that was finally what it took. And she stopped. So another thing is a battery bank. It was the same person. I'm not going to lie. She gave us battery banks for a Christmas gift one year. And we said, thank you. She's like, oh, you guys go to the gathering and everything. And I was like, yeah, it'd be perfect. Thank you. I was like, we already have some, but this should will be good now. Because I wanted to kind of slowly, gently insinuate we don't need any more. Because I had already told her no gifts. And then she gave us these battery banks. So I was like, hey, we already got some, but this is okay. Thank you. Love you. It'll go good with our set we have, but we definitely are good now. Because that racked us up to 6 battery banks. We do not need more than 6 batteries. I don't have room to, where would I store? And you guys know, like, my minimalist mentality is I have a space for an item, and then I don't allow myself to go over that space. So, like, for instance, the battery banks are in a drawer in our laundry room, which is, like, electronical stuff. And, like, they don't all fit already. Like, 6 of them don't fit in there. And that was giving me anxiety and stressing me out. It's too much. It's too many, right? So we put some in the basement in our camping tote, and then we kept some up here. She got us more. I don't know why, but she did. So I did number 4. I said, thank you. I love you. Thanks. And I regifted it. And then a couple months later, she was like, so how are those new battery banks working compared to your old ones? And I just said, oh, I don't know. I gave them away. And she was like, what do you mean you gave them away? I said, I have a friend who was going on a camping trip, and I gave him 2 of the battery banks. And she was like, what? Why would you do that? Don't you guys need them for the gathering and stuff? I said, no. Remember when you gave us 2 and 4 a couple years ago? And she was like, yeah. I said, yeah, we love those. And remember when I said we're good, we don't need any more flashlights, any more battery banks, any more camping supplies? And she was like, yeah. I was like, so you remember that, right? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, so then the next year you got us 2 more battery banks and flashlights, and we don't need them. We have enough. So I have a friend who was going camping, and I gave it to him. And she was just like, oh, okay. I was like, but thank you. I appreciate the thought. And so that's what it took to get her to stop. And that would be like the last resort. But, you know. And so this year again, I always do this before December. Like, try to get a hold of people in October. Like, hey, just want to make sure we're on the same page. No gifts this year. Please, no gifts, no gifts, no gifts, no gifts. And most of the people in my life know by now, like, why I don't want gifts, right? They know that I'm trying to declutter and organize my life and clean out this house, and that being decluttered and organized and having less makes me happy. So most people in my life know that. So a lot of my friends, instead of gifting us stuff, they will bring food over for game night, or we'll go out bowling, or go out to eat, or whatever. Like, they all know that. We go to the movies, whatever, because they know that I don't want material items because I'm trying to downsize. So this year, again, I told this lady, this person in my family, I was like, oh yeah, by the way, don't forget, no gifts. Oh, I know. I said, I know, but every year we go through this where I express to you that I don't want any gifts, and you do it anyways. And I said, it doesn't feel loving because you are placing a burden on me of guilt of how do I get rid of this item respectfully and lovingly, because now I have this thing I don't want and I feel guilt and I have all this negative, feelings around it. And that's not really a gift. I had to kind of like sit her down and explain to her, that's not a gift. That's giving a burden. That's giving a problem to somebody. And I said, if you truly love me and you care about me, you will do this for me because this is what will make me happy. And do you know what she did? She did give gifts. She did. Some people that's just them, and you gotta, you love people where they're at because you can't change people. So I just, number 4, thank you, I love you, Merry Christmas. And this year we did not regift the item. DC actually found a use for it, but and she did pretty good this year. She just got us 2 items. Yeah. So that was not bad. And so 1 we kept, and then 1 I kept 1 and got rid of the other gift, and then DC kept both of his, and he found a purpose for it, so it worked out good. And I mean, she's making progress because she only got us 2 things, and they weren't like, so we're making progress. I think she's kind of getting the point of like Megan doesn't want a lot of stuff. So, but yeah, that is my 5-step solution. This video is a little longer than I expected, but that is the 5 steps on how to avoid and deal with unwanted gifts. And just remember to be, thoughtful when you're doing this, because you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. You don't want them to feel unloved or unappreciated. People are usually doing gift giving out of love. So make sure that you are taking care with your wording and you are reassuring them that you love them and you appreciate the thought, but it's just not for you. And just be careful with your wording and take that into consideration and hold your ground. Your boundaries always your boundaries always come first, and that's the most important thing. Your boundaries come first, period. Like, they have to. But you can do it in a loving and respectful way, and that's a challenge, but it's definitely worth it to not hurt your family and your friends, to do it in a caring way and find a caring way to do it. I do notice that most people tend to respond pretty well to the experiences versus gifts. And you can always follow up with after the gift was given or whatever and saying, hey, the kids loved when you took them to go get swimsuit shopping, and they loved the swim lessons. Like, that was such a good gift for their birthday this year. Can you do this instead? And that will kind of retrain people's thought process of, oh, that was a good gift. I'll do that next time. And it kind of will help. You know what I mean? I know, especially with grandparents, that's hard. So, again, you can always say, hey, the grandkids loved when you took them to the arcade and went bowling. They enjoyed that much more than a bunch of senseless gifts that they will literally not even remember you bought them in a year. And for their birthday, can we do that instead? Like, they just loved it so much. You know what I mean? You just kind of have to watch your wording and kind of, But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope this helps. And if you guys have any tips on what to do with unwanted gifts, that's been my best advice. If you have any other advice, drop them in the comments down below and let me know. I'm really curious. I'm really curious. What was the worst gift you've ever received, and what did you do with it? Drop it in the comments below what the worst gift you ever received was and what you did with it, and I will see you guys next time.